Good morning, Villa fans, and welcome to a match preview for Go Ahead Eagles against Aston Villa on Thursday, 5:45 kickoff. I've had to dig deep here to do my research on Go Ahead Eagles, so please do smash a like and subscribe to the video as well. This has been a lot of hard work to find out some information. I know nothing about Go Ahead Eagles, and I imagine most of you listening and watching to this will probably know next to nothing about them as well. So let's have a little bit of a history lesson on Go Ahead Eagles and sort of talk about their beginning and also going into the sort of the present day as well. So Go Ahead Eagles, getting straight into it, were founded in 1902. 15 years later, they won their first Dutch championship, first of four. So won the Dutch League in 1917, 1922, 1930, and 1933. So a long, long time ago. They are in the Europa League, courtesy of winning the Dutch League Cup equivalent, the KNBV Cup, where they beat... I can't remember his name now, who they beat in the final. I think it was AZ Alkmaar in the final. It was a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes and then 4-2 on penalties. That's it. And Go Ahead Eagles got a 99th minute equaliser in that game to take it to extra time and then on to penalty. So, yeah, managed to win that one as well. They also beat PSV Eindhoven in the semi-finals at the Philips Stadium 2-1 as well. So, you know, that's a really good result for them to get into the final and then win the final on penalties as well. So, as I said, won the Dutch League 4 times in their history, founded in 1902, won the Dutch Cup last year, and that's why they're in this competition. Notable ex-players that you might have heard of, there was only a few that I could find. Raymond van der Gaal, ex-Man United backup goalkeeper, from those of you who remember him. Mark Overmars, Flying Dutchman, very, very good at Arsenal, Barcelona, Ajax, other clubs too, I think. But yeah, he came through the Go Ahead Eagles Academy and has been back at them sort of later on in his career as well. Paul Bosvelt, formerly of, I think, Manchester City, Dutch player, currently their technical director as well. He played for Go Ahead Eagles as well. So those are your 3 kind of noticeable players that they really had in their history. Mark Overmars probably being the standout one there as well. Ex-managers. So they've had Erik ten Hag as their manager way back when in 2012 to 2013, only 1 season in charge. It was one of his first managerial gigs, and he got them promoted from second division of the Dutch league back to the Eredivisie, and then sort of went on to go and join Bayern Munich and coach their reserve team or something. They've also had people like Henk ten Carter. Not sure if you guys will remember him, but he's ex-assistant manager at Chelsea. He's also been assistant manager at Barcelona. So yeah, good pedigree, and I think a really, really good player for the Dutch, sort of back in the day, like in the 70s and stuff like that. So yeah, they've had a couple of managers there. Leo Beenhakker is another one that was I think he's been Dutch international manager a long time ago as well, but he's also coached at Go Ahead Eagles. So, you know, those are your spurious kind of ex-manager links there to Go Ahead Eagles. But Ten Hag being the most recent name, most famous name perhaps. The current manager is someone called Melvin Boyle. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He was only appointed in June of this year, 2025. He was an ex-manager of a Dutch second division team called Dordrecht. And just missed out on promotion with them in their sort of playoff system, but managed to get the Go Ahead Eagles job. He's had 12 games in charge, 3 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses, 18 goals scored, 20 conceded, 25% win rate in 12 games. So early days for him. And yeah, if we're looking at the players that they've had. In fact, I'll talk a little bit about the most recent kind of results first, and then go on to sort of players and danger players and things like that. So, most recently, obviously in the Europa League, they're sort of 2 games into their campaign, same as us, and they opened it with a 1-0 defeat against Steaua Bucharest, and then followed it up with a 2-1 win against Greek side Panathinaikos. So that's their sort of 2 results in this Europa League run. And stadium capacity is 10,000, just a small stadium that they have there. Currently sitting in 12th in the area Divisi, 9 games into their domestic season, 2 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, 15 goals scored, 16 conceded. They are currently 10 points behind Feyenoord, who are in top position at the moment. So if we can go to Feyenoord and win, going to Go Ahead Eagles should be easier for us, but we can't take anything lightly. Last 5 games, they've lost 2-1 to PSV just recently. A guy called Milan Smit scoring for them. Then they drew 1-1 with NEC Nijmegen. Neuber scoring a goal for them. They won 2-1 against Panathinaikos, as I mentioned, where their striker Milan Smit got 2 goals, and I'll come on to him as a danger player shortly. And then they lost 4-2 to Telstar, and Smit getting a goal there as well. So Smit has 4 goals in his last 4 games. So that's the danger player. That's the on-form striker for Go Ahead Eagles. And then the last run in that 5-game sequence is a 1-0 defeat to Steaua Bucharest, as I mentioned, in their opening Europa League game. But they do have some danger players. I've just talked about Milan Smit there, who they bought from SC Canberra, also in the Dutch league, for 800,000 last year. He's got 6 goals this season in total. He's 22 years of age, 6'2", so a big striker, big sort of physical kind of striker up front for them, who likes to get amongst the goals. He only got 3 goals last season in 34 appearances and 3 assists. So he's definitely sort of stepped up this season, is what I would say about him. And other danger players that they have include Jacob Bream, who plays as an attacking midfield player. He's a 21-year-old Danish player. And he's got 1 goal and 2 assists this season. Last year, he got 11 goals from midfield. So certainly knows where the back of the net is and probably will be that support striker perhaps for Milan Smit. They also have a player called Meli Mullenstein. Might recognize that surname, Mullenstein, because Rennie Mullenstein was the assistant manager at Man United under sort of Fergie, I think it was, maybe that sort of era. So he's the son of Rennie Mullenstein. I think Mullenstein at the moment is manager of the Iraqi football international team. So they got Meli Mullenstein from Sampdoria. He's currently got 2 goals this season, 1 assist. But Go Ahead Eagles are very much a team who, they will try to buy players in for cheap and sell them on for profits. It's just obviously how the Dutch kind of model works across the board, really. And their standout player last season for them, they had to sell, was Oliver Antman, who they sold to Glasgow Rangers for 3.5 million, which is a record sale for Go Ahead Eagles. They bought him only the season before for 1.5 million. So they made a good sort of £2 million profit on him in a year. But he got 6 goals last season and 16 assists. So he was definitely the one who was supplying, all the chances for them and creating all the goals for them, really. So, yeah, a big loss for them to lose Oliver Antman to Glasgow Rangers after being such a crucial player. And other players that they've sold recently, this was not this season, but last season, was to our big rivals, Birmingham. They bought a player called William Thor Williamson for 4 million, and they only bought him for 150,000 2 years previous. So, buying players for low money, 150 grand, and selling him on 2 years later for 4 million to Birmingham. There you go. So that's him, basically. The only link that I could find between Go Ahead Eagles and Aston Villa, there are, as far as I can see, and correct me if I'm wrong, no former players that have played for both teams. The only sort of link that I could get is that Go Ahead Eagles had a player called Darren Maatsen a few years ago. He is the cousin of Ian Maatsen. So obviously not playing for both teams, but you've got the family links there. Ian Maatsen and Darren Maatsen, who is now retired. So he's obviously an older cousin. But yeah, that was the only kind of links that I could really sort of find between Go Ahead Eagles and Aston Villa. I'll, if anyone can find any other links like that, please do kind of let me know. But yeah, it's going to be, I think for this game, we are going to see heavy rotation. I think you've got to bear in mind we've just come off a really physical, grueling game against Tottenham. We've got Man City coming up on Sunday. It would not surprise me to see wholesale changes, even changing the entire 11. Maybe seeing 1 or 2 retained. But starting lineup for me, my predicted lineup for this game will be Marco Bizzo in goal. Right back, I'm giving Matty Cash a rest. I'm going to put in Lamar Bogard at right back. Centre backs, I'm going to give Victor Lindelof a game. So I'm going to give Ezri Konsa a rest. If Tyrone Mings is fit, then he comes in at left centre back. If not, Pau Torres continues. And then at left back, I'm going to play Ian Maatsen up against his cousin's team. So Ian Maatsen at left back. The double pivot, for me, I'm going to give Boubacar Kamara a rest. I'm going to play Amadou Onana and Ross Barkley in that double pivot. I don't know if Tielemans is anywhere near fit yet, but maybe he can come off the bench perhaps. And then ahead of that, again, I'm giving rests to people like McGinn, Rodgers, who have played a lot of football. I'm even putting Buendia on the bench for this as well, just to keep him sort of, if we need him for the second half, perhaps. So I'm going to give the likes of Jadon Sancho a start on the left, Harvey Elliott a start as well. And then I'm going to go with the front two. So I'm going 2 up front, Marlon just in behind in that support striker role. And I'm going to put Evan Gassond up front. I'm giving Ollie Watkins the night off, put him on the bench perhaps as well. But I don't want him being risked for this game. I think we've got enough in the tank, in the squad, to go to Holland and win on Thursday, even with that whole change of 11. I know it's not ideal. You don't want to play 11 players together that haven't really played together and there's not much cohesion. But I just think it's going to have to be a professional job from Aston Villa, and I can see us making those changes and still getting a result. I think the Go Ahead Eagles are probably one of the weaker teams in the Europa League competition. And, we can't underestimate anyone really. But if we're going into this game and not picking up maximum points after beating Bologna and Feyenoord, then that would be a very, very disappointing return trip to Holland after beating Feyenoord only sort of a few weeks ago. But I think the wholesale changes should be made. Maybe put some academy boys on the bench, the Jim Alobas, maybe the Ben Brogios, maybe people like that. And, depending on how the game is going, we can do that. But I think that starting 11 is enough to beat Go Ahead Eagles. Love to know your thoughts, guys. Please do subscribe to the channel. I've had to go do a lot of research and effort just to dig out information about Go Ahead Eagles, and just for that, just smash a like, please. Let's set a like target for this video of 25. There you go, just for my hard work and endeavour. But yeah, look out for the likes of Milan Smith, the striker, as I mentioned, Jacob Bream, the attacking midfield player, and Melly Mullenstein, also an attacking midfield player. Those are going to be your 3 to watch. But guys, if anyone here is watching that knows more about Go Ahead Eagles, maybe you watch the Area Divisie more than I do, because I don't watch it at all, do let me know your thoughts on it. Who are the danger players? Are we underestimating Go Ahead Eagles by, changing the 11 if that's what we do? But, I don't want to see Morgan Rodgers risk for this one. He picked up a little bit of a knock. It's getting hacked down by, Bentancur and Paulinho. Obviously, Dino had a deep cut on his ankle. And Konsa needs a rest. I think McGinn's played a lot of football. Rest. Watkins still kind of recovering from that England injury. Rest him. Martinez, obviously, he's culpable to picking up injuries and warm-ups. Rest him. Bizzo is capable. Matty Cash has played a lot of football for us as well. Time to rest him and give these fringe players a chance. And give some youngsters maybe a chance as well. But I think Marlon and Gassond, and I like to see Gassond up front because he did play there for Nice. So it's not as though it'd be a position that's alien to him. And I think playing Marlon in the support striker role will get the best out of Daniel Marlon as well. So interesting to hear your thoughts, guys. Let me know. Like, subscribe. Let's grow this channel. 25 likes, please, on this video. And I'll see you all soon for an instant match reaction on Thursday. Bye for now.